I had a dream. Okay. Um, so this dream was not last night, but the night before. And I was driving in a van, and I was down a grassy dirt road, like in a forest. So it was bumpy, but not horrible. And I was driving at normal speed, and started speeding up. And then the trees started to clear, and it was more open, but there were still some trees. And I started going faster. And then it got rougher. And as it got rougher, I started to lift off the ground. And then the van kind of faded away. It was like, okay, there was something surrounding me, but it wasn't the van. And like transparent. And the faster I went, the deeper the bumps got, but it didn't matter because I was flying off the ground. And it was like 3 or 4 feet, somewhere in that range. And as I started to move into a clearing, I started to raise and get higher and go faster. And then there was a river, and the river banks and the grass on the river banks and everything else, but I was flying over this. Now I was like 40 feet, roughly 40 to 100 feet in that range. And I was flying and soaring like an eagle. And I was like, I didn't even care. I wasn't even driving. I was like, wow, this is so neat. And I was flying back and forth and banking like this and up like that, and then swooping down and coming back up. And I was like, this is awesome. Then the scene changed. Because I always get kind of multiple dreams. But the ones that really kind of, I guess, are important, they stick. And it was like it was a video. Like I was there, but I wasn't there, but I was there. And the colors were rich. I could see every blade of grass and the light and the sun and the warmth. You could feel the warmth. It was like all of that compounding like felt real. But the next one, I was at like a mall with stores, and there was a tall archway, and there was glass, and it was kind of like it was a mall at a train station. And I didn't see the train, but I knew it was at the train station. And like in Japan, what they do is the big train stations at a city, you get off the train, and of course there's lockers and there's restrooms, but there's also restaurants and shops and sitting areas, and one of them had a sitting area where they could have people play, like an outdoor auditorium kind of thing, a theater and around scenario. And they also have clothing stores and hotels. So it's kind of like you get off the train and you don't have to, you don't need a taxi to go anywhere per se, because it's all right there. And that's kind of how it felt. And I found some escalators, and they went down like half, one floor. And it was a sitting area, and there was a bunch of rows of benches and lights, and people were charging cell phones and stuff like that. And I looked around, and I couldn't find an escalator going up. Well, there wasn't. It was only an elevator. I said, oh, okay, great. And I circled around 3 different times looking for the escalator and didn't find it. But I found the elevator that was kind of centrally located. And as I got closer to it, every time I circled around, a person gave me an item to hold. I don't remember exactly what items they were. One of them was a little more bulky and square. And I finally get to the elevator, and I'm holding all these 3 items, and they're kind of bulky. And just as I was getting in there, everybody rushed in, and the one guy's like, here, hold this for me, and I'll meet you up on top. I'm like, okay, so I'll wait for the next elevator. And then as I waited, I woke up. I don't know what they mean. The first one, well, we're going to fly like eagles, and be able to run and not get tired. And that's in Isaiah 60, 61, something like that. The other one about the train station, I have had a lot of dreams about being on trains or at a train station or getting ready to get on a train. And what does it mean? I don't know. You tell me.